You ever put your hand in one of these?
It's got living things in there. Last time I saw it, well, you could see it. Well, I really like the nature happening around it. And like everything else here, it's slowly returning to the earth.
Today on the Dodge Garage, we're going on a special field trip to the Mopar Ranch. But there's a few things I want to cover first. Now, this is important, so pay attention. Nothing you see in this video is for sale. Nothing. So don't ask. No cars, no parts. Just don't do it. I mentioned Tom in the video. There are two Toms. Ranch Tom and Rocket Tom. That might get confusing. Apparently Mopar world is just full of Toms. Jamie's too, actually. There's a lot more stuff on the ranch than we got to in the video. We'll go back and do more video eventually. There's also all kinds of good stuff, what needs reviving, and you'll probably see some of that too. So don't worry. Finally, this might be the most important. I'm not telling you where this place is. And if you know, keep it to yourself. The family's privacy is pretty important to me. They're good friends, and I'd like to keep it that way. With all that said, enjoy!
Today on the Dodge Garage, we're on the Mopar Ranch. So how much of a body is in there? We're mostly here so this guy can do this. Because he's piecing together a 68 Roadrunner and, well, there happens to be a whole one right here. But while we're here, we got to see the sights, right? I mean, come on. Since we're in here anyway, I guess this is a good place to start. That's a 72 small block Barracuda. And there's a 62 Dart, which is actually in very, very nice shape. Wow, you made it out.
It sandwiches between the... Look at these.
Yeah, I know those are there. And of course, there's this triple black 383 4-speed Roadrunner. Yeah, this is a someday project. Then of course, there's this beautiful 66 Coronet 500. I've been trying to get this thing out of here for years. Maybe someday. Cool stuff. Apparently this car was buried up to the rocker panels in muck when he bought it. So I guess its current predicament, that's an upgrade. And that's a Charger back seat. This thing also has tinted glass. That's interesting. And here's the inside of the 62. This thing is sweet. There are actually a handful of 62s hiding around here in various places. Someday this Slant 6 wants to be a 413. Don't mind this. It's just a pile of extremely valuable Chrysler muscle car stuff. Yeah, this whole place is kind of just like that. Well, at least we learned something. There are also some early Hemi parts in places. This wheel chock is an early A-body 4-speed. We had this 318 Barracuda running, well, a handful of years ago. 9?
8.
That's a lot more than a handful. And it hasn't moved since then. Wait, that's not true. Hold on. Darts got rearranged. So it's definitely moved sometime this decade. There are also various things like turbo Subarus and lifted Chevy trucks around here, but that's not important. This is my friend Connor's row of personal quality collectibles. This 73 Swinger and I have had some times. In fact, my friend Aaron took this off a sweet jump once. I actually added the tail stripe because, well, I just can't help myself. It's so good. I did the top too. This has definitely smelled better. At some point I donated these bucket seats to the cause. I've actually been broken down in this car multiple times. This poor thing. Connor works on boats and he's hardly ever around here. So all these things sort of end up neglected. You might just have to do a revival video on this. I did timing chain and gears in it. Well, maybe it was 8 years ago now, but you know, they've been done. I also put a brand new alternator on here. Yeah, sure, it was the O'Reilly Special, but it was new. Might even still turn. Last licensed in 2018. Well, that's not so long ago. Still quite a bit of car left here to save. Oh yeah, remember that sweet jump? That's a true story. This is a 66 Cornet 440. Two-door hardtop. The rust has gotten a little worse in recent years. I've had some times in this thing too. In fact, I can tell you that it's faster than a slightly hopped up 383 Charger, and that with the windows shut, well, lots of exhaust smells get in here at highway speeds. Funny story, this 318 poly engine is actually how I met Connor. I was working at O'Reilly Auto Parts and he came in asking for parts for a 66 Coronet. Then I sold him an engine, but before I sold it to him, he made me come out here and look at all these treasures. I also gave him this super rare YN 4-barrel manifold for a birthday present one year. Yeah, it's looking a little rough too. I think this thing's probably deserving of a revival video too. In fact, one of these years, I think we're going to restore this car. Of all of them, he wants this one to live. This one time, many years ago, Connor said, I want to go out and see if I can find my 69 Satellite. I parked it in the woods somewhere. It's in the driveway now, so again, upgrade. This 55 Plymouth Plaza two-door, post car, is a V8 automatic. And I was with him when he bought this thing out of an old gentleman's yard, maybe, yeah, 8 or 9 years ago, I guess. It's rough. When I was teasing the 55 Plymouth Gasser project, this is it. And that could still happen. Yeah, the pile of brake parts kind of tells the story. Can't get the dang door open, but this thing really isn't too bad. And hey, the keys are in it. We were going through here some years back, trying to hear everything run. And this 67 Dart GT, well, it protested quite a bit. We actually dug into the engine and, well, I don't remember what happened from there, but it's still in pieces and now it's outside. The sunroof hackery kind of sucks, but it's actually a bucket and console car. Factory 273 V8. Yeah, this thing's deserving of rescue too. Maybe some year. Funny story about the hood missing from this car. We kind of borrowed it for my brother's 68 Dart. More on that in a minute. This thing actually has quarter panels.
Found the radiator.
It's amazing. Look at that. Yeah, this is actually a really, really good car.
It has a trunk pan.
We cut a roof off of another Dart for it once, but it's long gone now. Yeah, I forgot how good this car is. Might have to come back for this one too. Look, a first gen doing ranch stuff. Excellent. This super rare Mopar is a twin turbo V6 5-speed all-wheel drive Dodge Stealth RT. Okay, it's really a Mitsubishi, but it's pretty neat. It's kind of not in great shape, and third gear is more of an idea. It's just not there. Last time I drove this thing, it wouldn't make boost either. The first time I drove it, it was impressive. Kind of terrifying. That's not a Mopar at all. That's an MGB. Kind of like those two though. My brother says this quality machine's worthy of a revival too. Well, I don't disagree, but darts. I got the door of the Plymouth open and, well, it's way worse than I remember. Factory V8. Just imagine dual quads in here with like a 3-speed. Oh, it'd be cool. This is actually a really nice running poly engine. And it comes with a free knife. The kids are on a woods adventure.
What is in the barn now?
This is a llama barn. There used to be a 67 Valiant in here. Then we dragged it out with a Nissan truck, I believe.
Well, we dragged it from there.
Oh.
Someone else dragged it to there and then put a tarp on it.
Well, I don't remember that part. This 68 Dodge two-door fastback used to sit next to the shop over there, and it was buried up to like here in brush. We dug it out once and tried to get the 383 in here running. Didn't really want to turn over very nicely, so that kind of failed. Tom's convinced it's still a good engine, so we may still use it for the Roadrunner project. Not sure. So that's one end of this operation, but, well, there's more. Cows. Dart. There's a lot of that kind of stuff around here. Sitting alone back here in this clearing is an original B5 Blue 71 Dodge Dart Swinger. And it's seen some times. You know, 15 or 20 years ago, this probably would have been a savable car. Ooh, look, bullet hole. The whole front end off of this car went missing mysteriously and was put on a duster we dug out of the bushes over on the other side of this place. That's a long story. If you know me, you know I love 70 swingers. 71's pretty close, but yeah, this one's just, it's done for. Huh, still got a dash and seats though, and they're not even that bad. The weird thing about this is there's an almost identical car way over there, also in a clearing. B5 blue, flat blacked over that. The even weirder thing is, my brother once bought a 71 Swinger, factory 318, B5 blue, with flat black over it, with horrible rust problems. That's the one we cut a roof off of once. One of very few cars we've ever parted out, in fact. They just get to a certain point where saving is no longer an option. Yeah. Ooh, factory heated rear window. There's also a Valiant deck lid sitting on this thing for some reason. We're going off-roading? I love when we go off-roading. Speaking of off-roading, Connor's Jeep Cherokee. We've had some times in this thing. I was actually with him when he parked it on this pile of broken concrete. So was my wife. She was pregnant at the time. If you ask him, he says he was trying to induce labor. It is well and truly stuck here. And unfortunately, a chunk of concrete kind of stabbed the transmission pan. I don't dare crawl in there now, but this Jeep is neat. There's no dashboard. There's a headlight switch dangling down. You start it with just a key rod that's bent up at a 90-degree angle. And I think there's a fan switch. Oh, there's also a speedometer cable that spins at you while you're going down the road. Not only does this thing have a trunk key in it, it's got chocolate. The luxness is off the chart.
We're in electric mode.
Oh, wow.
Well, we were.
No, we're not. I hear the engine.
It immediately turned off.
Does it feel wrong to you driving a Subaru out here?
Only a little.
These buildings were originally supposed to be part storage. It didn't work out that way exactly. Look, a mud hole to bury the Subaru in. Are you okay?
Yeah, it literally only doesn't work when you're sitting.
Oh, well, there's a 56 Cornet. Tom bought this for a fender, but then couldn't bring himself to take the fender off, so here it is, under a tree. Oh, there are also Dodge motorhomes back there. Oh yes, there's also a Dodge pickup over here. It's in surprisingly good shape. It was supposedly sold to someone like 8 years ago, but there it is.
I don't have Challengers over there.
There's a satellite on a tree right there.
Sure.
We have to go around. There are cows in the way.
I'm gonna yell at you if you don't put on your seatbelt.
You gotta toot your own horn all the time?
Yes.
One thing I'd really like to do today is find my crew cab Dodge. It's out here somewhere. I haven't seen it in like 4 years though. Most of the collection's back there in the trees now. It used to just be scattered all over the field. Yeah, here's the nice 56. See, it's still got a dented fender. This thing's got a poly too. It's a nice runner, but it's a heavy smoker. These aren't Mopars at all. They're tiny English cars. Tractor.
What's yours? Are those your babies? You look so proud. You're sitting right next to them.
Ah, good. You found Subaru parking. This one time, many years ago, I climbed into this gigantic Ford truck and it was vibrating. I thought someone left like the heater fan on or something. Nope. It was full of bees. I actually got this Chrysler Crossfire, you know, actually a Mercedes or whatever. That's fine. I got this thing running and driving for Tom like 4 years ago. I guess it hasn't been driven in a while. Big block. Here's another of the 62s. It's cleaner than I remember. I've driven this car. Hey, I found something cool. Yeah, but it's got living things in there. This is a 1969 Dodge Charger RT 440 automatic. And it's got slot mags on it, which means it's cool. Just look at that. Yes, this is a real RT. Oh, hi, Zero. Now, obviously, this car's been repainted. It's not the right shade of blue. And the paint is not good. There's Bondo everywhere, hiding rust. If you know Chargers or Mopars at all, you know this is kind of a desirable piece. This A window has been busted out for at least a decade. Yep. Look, a 440. I don't know if it's the original 440. It would take way too much work to figure that out. But it's cool.
I wish I had a
That's B5 blue, right? It's gotta be. Original B5 blue, blue interior. Not original seats. The keys are here, so I mean, we could start this thing if we had come prepared.
You ever put your hand in one of these?
Yeah, not yet. Another 62 dart. This one's kind of cool. It wants to be a drag racer again someday. We were actually supposed to put a big block in this like 4 years ago, but instead we got a rusty pile of a Roadrunner to start on. This is a first gen Dodge just piled with stuff, but there's a 70 dart grill. I might need to take that. This 68 Valiant two-door post is the family drag car. Both Connor and his sister Camille used to campaign this thing in some sort of teenager bracket racing challenge. It's equipped with a pretty rowdy 360, and well, it's got a spool. I remember riding around in this thing on the street like, well, I don't know, 8 years ago, I guess. It was pretty rowdy. At some point in the future, we're supposed to go through the engine on this thing. Maybe just the cylinder heads? I don't actually remember. They actually started out with the 67 two-door post Valiant, which was parked in that llama barn over there. And they were going to build it into this car. Then the owner of this car asked, well, do you want to just buy it instead? So they did. This isn't a 62 Valiant. Race car stuff. Yeah, this thing's fun. Note, it's actually an original slant 6.3 on the tree. And the extra pedal is just hidden under the carpet. You should probably stop picking at that. I already made it worse on the other side.
Filler, quarter, that's crusty rocker.
www.amd.sheetmetal.biz.
Autometaldirect.com.
Whatever. There are also just Mopar engines everywhere. Also Hemi parts. Neat. Did you know that lifted 80s Subarus are really awesome? Well, they are. Believe it or not, there's a dart in there. There's another one over there. There's also a 65 Coronet, which last time I saw it, well, you could see it. Tom and I might have differing opinions on who gets to build this car. We'd have to dig it out first. So about that hood we stole off a 67 Dart. There it is. This is my brother's 68 Dart. His quality contribution to the ranch. Well, it's a pile. Don't listen to anything he tells you about it. Yeah, it just needs a fender, among other things. We revived this car maybe, I don't know.
8.
Everything happened 8 years ago. We were a lot more exciting then. Anyway, we dragged this thing out of a field and we put a random kind of tired 318 in it and a 4-speed. It wasn't too horrible then, although it does have some custom ventilation in the side of the cowl up there. I have distinct memories of driving this car, flooring it, letting off in like second gear and feeling the whole thing flex underneath me. The rockers are bad, among other things. Yet another flat black roof done by yours truly. You know, with like 100 hours of work, I bet we could get this thing out of here. And then realize it's way worse than it was before. Ooh, the frat zog's still there. That's a nice touch. This guy keeps telling me he's gonna rescue this car and put it back on the road. Personally, I think it's returning to the earth.
Oh my god.
What?
You remember when you were looking for the 71 Dart steering column?
Yeah.
I found it.
There it is. Wow, the door panels survived. The floors are remarkably decent. Headliner, not so much. Yeah, all right. Maybe it's a Sabre. It's pretty cool.
They're tucked in a special place.
Oh.
I have a whole other grill for it.
Wow. Oh yeah, I knew that. It's really nice too. Oh yeah, it's sitting next to a Diplomat. I guess it's technically a Mopar. Not exactly my thing. What?
Well, remember that thing you said earlier?
Yes. About how it's a piece of junk? Oh no.
This was really nice 5 years ago.
It actually was. Kind of.
Nah, that already had holes in it.
Maybe that's what the kitty blanket was for.
Still smells the same.
Good. How you liking those cobwebs?
They're great.
Nothing to see here. Just a pile of big blocks and torque flights. Returning to the earth. Ooh, with Kragers. Keeping the Green Dart company is this 67 Dart two-door post. Remarkably decent car, really.
This looks exactly like the Valiant on the inside, but with an automatic.
This won't really. Yeah, it won't do this stuff. This guy really needs this glass for his Valiant.
Oh my god. Maybe I don't want the door on. Wait.
This thing's pretty sweet. It's got excellent drag car potential. That's a 61 D100. Two-wheel drive, slant 6, 3 on the tree, short bed. Super cool. Unfortunately, it has some rust issues. This part of the cab kind of isn't there on the other side. And like everything else here, it's slowly returning to the earth.
I really like this car.
Well, I really like the nature happening around it.
I uncovered the Plymouth
Oh,
so that way
There.
Dog dishes.
Color matched wheels.
They also say Plymouth Division on them. This 69 Plymouth Belvedere sedan, at least I think it's a sedan, I haven't seen the back of it in quite a while, is in theory a parts car, but look at it. It's pretty decent. There's a long, ridiculous, sad, and uninteresting story as to how this thing ended up here. There's also a wagon keeping it company. Yeah, you can't even see that one anymore. The brush is gnarly, but that's a 68 Satellite or Belvedere station wagon. Yep, Belvedere. I remember this car. It has an absolutely mint dashboard, among other things. It is buried. He gave up on that years ago. More first gens. This good old unit is the John Deere truck, for obvious reasons. That horrible smashed up van's entire job in life is to hold a welder. Well, this looks fun. But we gotta get to the treasure somehow. Remember that duster I was talking about, ripping the front end off? Yeah, here it is. Still pretty good, actually. This yellow, orange, and flat black fender, as well as that dart grill I found in the back of a first gen over there, came off of a really crappy Demon clone. It was actually a 75 or 6 duster. It was neat. Very rough, though. We dragged that thing around in a field, yeah, like a decade ago, trying to unseize the small block that was in it, with no luck. This is kind of gross, but it's what they make Subarus for, so that's good. Here we are under the trees, where all the cars have been gathered pretty recently, actually. I think just a few years ago. This is a 72 Duster. Hey, it's got hood pins. The hood pins are writing a check, the rest of it can't cash. There's a slant 6 in here. Unfortunately, this one is also more than a little bit rough.
It's just one frame rail. It'll be fine.
Among other things. Oh yeah, that one over there is great. Judging by how the whole floor is moving. Oh, no, that's just the stuff hanging on the ground through the spare tire wall. Got it. No, you're right. This is a good savable car. Oh yeah, no, that's pretty good. I'm getting itchy just looking at that. 1965 Dodge Dart GT. Same answer. Hey, here's the Dodge pickup. I don't remember what year. Late 30s, early 40s. It's missing some parts. Funny story though, the parts that are missing ended up on a rat rod. There are probably some things here I need for the Power Wagon. I'm just afraid to try and get them. Roadkill. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now, promise you won't be mad, but I kind of goofed up filming right around here, and we don't get to see the rest of these quality vehicles in the tree row in detail. I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Don't worry, they're total rusty junk.
Time to take that thing down the hill. Maybe we can find my truck. This all seems fine. Just a few things whack in the bottom of the car. Treasures.
I'm so sorry, man.
There's a stream. It's lovely. Yeah, seasonally this area is kind of a lake. No truck. But there's this camp. I can't remember if I was successful or not, but I did try to get this one running some years ago. I think it just cranked it for like 8 minutes. From this side, this 74 Scamp actually looks pretty good. But unfortunately, it's a trick. Yeah. Good thing I'm up on my shots. Yeah, over here on the driver's side, it's actually returning to the earth. This 65 Chrysler was rescued from a junkyard at some point. That's a pretty neat car, but it too is unfortunately returning to Mother Nature. There's a pretty cool wheeling circuit through here, back into the lower field. This 69 Plymouth B-Body used to be one of Tom's drivers. I'm not sure exactly why he parked it under this tree.
Did you just get that door?
No. What I am sure of is, oh, well, some years ago that door still opened and I actually drilled holes in that floor to drain the lake.
Didn't work.
Yeah, I think I should have done this one too. Even so, there's still some good parts in here. Also a shrubbery. This 74 Dart Swinger Special had all its windows smashed out years ago, which is really unfortunate. Despite appearances and whatever's going on here, this is actually a pretty decent car. Or it used to be, anyway. Also, it's a special, but it's an automatic. Most of them were 3 on the tree. Might be kind of hard to get this one running. Okay. The patina on this thing is just fantastic. Look, a small block. Some critters have been here. And it's possible the frame rail is literally in the mud right now. Dogs. Doing dogging. It's very pretty here. Mm-hmm. Cow pies kind of smell fresh around here. Oh, look at their face though. Will the Subaru go back up the hill? Yeah, I'm sure it will. Subaru. Crosstrack's ideal for this. Also, sorry, Ben. Cow! What are you doing? He is absolutely unbothered. Or she. You know what I meant. That's right, you better run. Every time.
Oh, that road right over there.
Yeah, that one. The one less traveled. Is that a ruined dart hood? Oh yeah! That's the hood off that 72 Swinger I dragged out of here. Oh, it's gotten even worse. Oh, they're coming! Really? With the 11-point turn? He's also scared of cows. Yeah, I'm rearranging the trees. We might have to wash our rental when we're done. What an absolute unit.
Sorry, Ben.
Well, don't go over that tree though.
You think you could drive over that tree?
No, I don't think you should. Oh, there's that orange 70-ish Dodge.
Is this overlanding?
I believe this is overlanding. C-body.
Oh, cows.
Also cows. That's a 69 Plymouth on a stump. Oh, no.
Is that the fender from the other one?
Maybe. Maybe it was a replacement for the other one. I don't remember. More overlanding. There's definitely a rusty Challenger here somewhere. I think it's right there.
It's ahead of the trees. Which way don't we want to go?
I can go this way. Whee. Years ago, I might have allegedly stolen the seats out of this motorhome. I know. Yay, we made it! That was fun. This is a 1971 Dodge Challenger, and it's bad. It's really, really, really bad. It's just a 318 car anyway. 5 or 6 years ago, I bought a yellow Challenger from this place, and at that time, I came back here and went through this one looking for parts. I would have grabbed that console, but someone dropped a bunch of bumpers and drive lines on it, and it's smashed. I did take the dash cluster, though. Look, a finish panel for a Dart. 69, I believe. Did I say this car is bad? Well, it's really, really bad. In fact, it's more bad than car at this point. Not a lot left worth saving. But it is neat. Mrs. Jamie found a skull. She's very excited.
She would have made it up there. Probably.
What they said. I actually did use the bumper brackets from this car to space in my 73 bumpers. But do you see my crew cab? This one time many years ago, we took that Cherokee up this hill, and one of these branches smashed the windshield right in front of my face. Oh no, you're right. The Subaru would have done this fine. Ugh. No crew cab yet, but look, a Dodge van. I don't recognize this one, but it's clearly been here for a while. Remember that Demon clone I mentioned a bit ago? There it is. It's on top of an upside down cop car. Beaverton Police. Man, if Rocket Tom was here, he'd be really excited right now. It's actually upside down to harvest this rear end. I think the not Demon was put on it to protect that, you know, from the elements.
Oh.
I have a picture of him cutting that with a Sawzall a decade ago. All right. Yeah, remember I said we tried to unseize it in gear? 4-speed pedals and a hump. Why did we do this? This was kind of an okay car, by today's standards anyway. Hey, I found priceless B-body dash pieces.
It's been upside down.
All right, I'm starting to remember why we were cutting this thing up. It is quite bad. Oh, hey, look. You found charger frame rails. Lucky you. This thing also has disc brakes, which is pretty cool. There's also a really horribly rotten Nissan Datsun truck. There's actually a few of these around. Still haven't solved the mystery of where my crew cab is, though. You having fun there? Man, the pokies around here are just brutal. I definitely wore the wrong pants. Nothing frightening about this. Everything's fine. Easy restoration project, really. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Oh.
Easy.
It's not, it's just dirt and stuff. I'll clean it out. Okay.
It's not brains. Here's that 56 Coronet up close. And a huge pile of engines and transmissions that were dragged out of those fallen down buildings over there. Yeah, this is kind of sad. Dang it! I broke something. That's my bad, guys. We're standing on the electric fence, which is apparently not live, so that's the good news. Okay, go! Yeah, it's fine. Oh, some interesting stuff has happened back here. Could it be? That looks like a crew cab Dodge. Huh, yeah, there it is. I just can't get to it. I think I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Anyway, there's my 73 crew cab Dodge. It looks really good from here, but it's totally not. Oh yeah, there's totally a road in back here. That would have been too easy. Nice. Don't break your neck. Hey, I made it. Man, it was a lot more blue last time I saw it. Oh. So I was trying to manage expectations and tell you this truck isn't as good as it looks, and well, it's actually worse than I remember. Yeah, so anyway, this cab is shot. Oh, well that's ruined. Anyway, I rolled the window up, you know, to save the interior. This truck was $200. So Connor and I went halves on it, you know, so that's a lot of money. 73 grill. Oh, this is all frozen together. Wow. Oh, where'd the Power Wagon emblems go? Yeah, this used to open better. Well, that sucks. Common problem around here. Itchy types get into everything and steal radiators. Anyway, that's a rebuilt 318. And it's got headers. It's got an automatic, which is unfortunately bad, and a 205 transfer case. That's right, part-time 4x4 with manual hubs. It was also clearanced at some point in its life for humongous tires, which was obviously necessary. Don't go live in the woods. We gotta leave. We got a live stream, B. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyway, it needs some things. Maybe a cab and a bed. Jury's out on the frame. Yeah, she's a little rough. Admire the angle that was holding up a temporary floor someone rigged in here. This truck drove not long ago. Well, okay, 4 or 5 years ago, but that's not so bad. Oh, that's probably off because they stole the stereo. Lovely. It does have a really nice tailgate though. Well, at least I found it. More on that later. Yeah, it's way easier to get to through here. There's a road. Subaru. Perfect ranch vehicle. Oh yeah, that's my friend Andy's Dart. Slightly wrecked. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this look at rotting junk on a cattle ranch. It's kind of cool. It's also kind of sad, but it is what it is, I guess. Would you believe me if I told you that used to be my monster truck? Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more quality junk.